Hi, I'm Tracy Lynn, and I want you to move your body with resistance bands, specifically flat bands, because I'm about to upload some flat band workouts, full body, quick effective workouts. But I felt it was my responsibility to put together a quick video showing you the basics of how resistance bands work so you can use them safely first and effectively. So there are different resistance bands, and I love them all. Not all, I don't use them all, but I love these. These are tubing, like handled bands, which I will be making workouts using these. And then these are flat bands also. These are latex free, which I don't like as much, but if you're allergic to latex, there's definitely an option for you, just know that. And then the hip bands, I do use in my workouts. They're great for that extra work in the glutes, so the hip bands. And of course, these regular flat bands. I have the brands that I love and use linked down below for these items. At this point, they're not affiliate links. They're just the ones that I like, that based on price point and quality. They're linked down below. Anyway, so resistance bands, flat bands, portable, light. This is not scripted, by the way. I'm just doing this off the cuff. Hopefully it's not too long for you. So, flat bands, portable, light, inexpensive. You can just roll them up and put them in your pocket. I don't have a pocket, but you can work out anywhere. There's no excuses anymore. Hotel room, anywhere you go. Work out outside. You don't have to be inside to work out. These are amazing, but there's definitely a learning curve to these. They're not straightforward like free weights. You manipulate how these work, how resistance bands work. You make them as resistant as you want them to be. So the concept of resistance bands are like rubber bands. The more you stretch them, the more resistant they are. But the smaller they are, you can only stretch them so far before they're going to break or just get too much pressure on them, and then they're not safe. So then there's the medium. Again, it's harder, but you can only stretch it so much. And then the large, again, only so much. So what you want to do, especially if you're a beginner, you always want to start with the smallest one. In this case, it's the blue. And this is how these work. Okay, wherever you're holding these bands, I call those your pivot points. So the shorter the band is between the pivot points, the more you're stretching it, the more resistant it is. But look at how short it is. I'm not going to have a range of motion, and now I'm putting too much pressure on that band. Same here, if I have it under my foot and I'm doing some rows, I have 3 pivot points now, my foot and my hands. So if I want to make this shorter between the pivot points, the hand and the foot, shorter, so it's harder, but now you can see the band, there's too much stretching. If I want to keep making it shorter because it's just too easy, no, that's too much pressure on the band. At that point, you would move to the next band, the green, the medium. And then it's harder. This is a bent over row. But still, I want it to be more resistant, so I just choke up on it, make the distance shorter, make it shorter between the pivot points. I'm just pulling up on it. But again, I can see the stretching. You don't want to make that band length too short between the pivot points. It's too much pressure. So then you would move up to the red, the hardest one. Usually for the pulls, the pushes, it's like bicep curls, depending on your level of fitness, the red. And I will show you as I'm doing the workouts that I will be uploading. And then past that point, you want to double them up because this is the largest one there is. So let's say I want it to be more resistant. First I would start with the blue, and I double them up. And I would do a lat row. And I can choke up on it, make it shorter. And then you got the double time support from both bands moving together. And now this is really resistant right here. I mean, you can even triple them up. You have to practice with these, sitting down watching TV, just practice with these. Start with the smallest one, don't stretch it too much. The more you stretch it, the more resistant it is, but the more you stretch it, the more pressure you're putting on it. You don't want to stretch it too much. But you also need a range of motion. If you get it too short, not only are you putting the pressure on it, if you get it too short, it's so hard to explain these, between the pivot points, there's more pressure. And then you're not getting that range of motion, and I'll show you that again. Okay, so let's rear delts. I do this movement in my workouts right here. If I'm going, first you don't want it too loose. If I'm going like this, it's just like there's nothing and the band's like nothing. So I want to choke up on it. I'm not bringing my hands closer. I'm just choking up on it. My pivot points, I'm making the band shorter, see, between the pivot points. But if I go here, I can't move it. There's no range. Here, now it's a little too much pressure on this one. I'd go to the next one. Okay, so just come out a little more. That's about it right there. For rear, shoulder, upper back, right here. Right here. So again, learning curve, start light, and then add the other ones in. Just practice with these. Inexpensive, great alternative to free weights. You can take these anywhere. I just love them, love them, love them, love them. I love this brand, link down below. I'll answer any questions, comments. Leave in the comments, I'll answer what I can, but that's about as much as I know to explain to you. You just have to use them and work with them. So I will be uploading my flat band workouts. Look for those. You have to hit that subscription button though. Subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell because it's the only way you'll know when I upload those videos. So if you liked this little tutorial, hopefully it wasn't too long, thumbs up would be great. And comments, like I said, and everything's linked down below. Share this video, this tutorial with friends and family on or off social media and get the flat bands. Start with these if you don't want to get those free weights because of the price, which the ones I have linked down below really aren't that bad at all, but start with flat bands. Also, one more thing, forgot to say this. When you buy these, they have a little smell to them. Wash them off with soap and water and put them outside and let them dry, or dry them off yourself. That's what you'll want to do because they do have a slight smell from the factory. And you also want to check these regularly, and the instructions when you buy that will tell you, check them regularly for wear and tear. That's about it. I hope that was helpful, and look for those flat band workouts coming to you. Probably tomorrow will be the first one. So thank you and take care.